Hi, Kenzie. Welcome to the How to Be a Redhead podcast. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
So good. We want to get right into this awesome interview that we're so excited to chat with you about. And we know you're still growing up, but so far, what is it like for you growing up with red hair?
Honestly, I feel like I was never put in a position where I was ever bullied for it or anything like that. I think I was mostly praised for it. A lot of people would often come up to me and compliment my hair. I didn't like it. I hated having red hair. I always wanted to dye it black. I don't know why. My
Really?
mother said no, which I'm grateful for now. But
Yeah, right.
yeah, I never really had any issues with anybody else. It was more like myself. I didn't love my red hair.
I know, I
You
know.
didn't love it.
It's
Okay, like
just a thing. And what
internally.
about
Yeah.
your freckles though? Because they're perfect and they're so
I
pretty.
know your videos showing
We
them.
have
Oh,
questions about
it's
your freckles
beautiful.
too, but just looking
Yeah.
at you, I'm like, we have to mention the freckles.
I hated them. I wanted nothing to do with them growing up. I was like, "Mommy, like, can we get rid of them? Like, how can I get rid of them? Like, I don't want them on my face anymore." And then I think after I started social media and people started to draw on fake ones, I was like, "Oh, wait, maybe people like them. Like, maybe I should like them." And I think that's when I really started to appreciate them more. But yeah,
Yeah, right. It's like we all want what we don't have. And we were talking
Yeah.
about this with other guests that we've had on our podcast, but how, yeah, the faux freckles and people are putting fake freckles on your face. And I have a lot of freckles on my face. Adrian doesn't, but it's something that I too, Kenzie, have gradually had to love and embrace. I too wanted to hide them. When I was younger. And it was, yeah, I did everything in terms of like covering them up with like loads of concealer and just pounds of foundation. I had like no idea what I was doing when I mean, we didn't have social media, Adrian and I, when we were growing up. So it was like we had, I mean, yeah, you just kind of did what you saw, and at the time it was Lindsay Lohan wanting to cover up her freckles. So, but yeah, now I'm fully in, like, I love my freckles. Do
oh,
you?
I love them. Like in the winter,
Yeah.
they fade without the sun. I live in Canada, so it's like cold
Yes.
and we
Mm.
have no sun in the winter. But the minute the summer hits, like I just want to lay in the sun all the time and just make them as dark as possibly.
Oh, I love that.
I
Good
know.
for you for being how young you are and loving yourself
Mhm.
because Stephanie and I were still going through a journey of like me, too much instant tanner at 18
Oh
and
my
like
gosh.
hating my fair skin, Stephanie not liking her
Mhm.
freckles.
Oh, it
We
was a
just went
mess.
through such a journey, probably like throughout our 20s. So I feel like good for
Yeah.
you, and we're definitely going to get to beauty tips and TikTok because that's where we found you and that's where everyone loves you. Um, but when it comes to makeup and freckles, are you conscious to not cover them up?
Mm.
Yes, it's actually I have never I don't think I've worn concealer in probably 5 years since
Wow.
I was a competitive
Oh, no
dancer. I
concealer.
don't do concealer. I will
Wow.
put like powder under my eyes to make it whiter. I think it's like I think it's doing something. I don't think it actually does anything. It's more like a internal thing. I think it's brightening my eyes. It's not. But I don't wear concealer, foundation. I do a lot of just like glowy skincare, but I won't cover my freckles at all. I think I actually look weird now without my freckles.
I agree. Same here. And I don't use foundation. I'll use like a tinted moisturizer or something, depending on if I'm going outside or not. But yeah, I love my freckles. And I too can totally relate. In the summer, I love when they do get a little bit darker. Just, I couldn't imagine my face without freckles.
I know, like now that I have them, I was like, wait, like I would look so strange, I feel like without them now.
Mm-hmm.
No, yours
Yeah. Oh
yours
my
are
God.
yours are are gorgeous, gorgeous.
Thank you.
And just out of curiosity, who's a redhead in your family? Where do you get the red hair from? Do you know?
My mother and my father. My father had the freckles, my mom had the red hair and the
Wow.
freckles. She
Oh
had
my
both.
gosh. Wow, that's so wonderful. Yeah, so okay, we want to go into, you know, everything with your content and you just turned 18. So amazing. I mean, for like creating such an awesome platform on social, on TikTok and Instagram. We love following you. But how did you discover that you had a passion for makeup and skincare?
I think makeup started when I was like younger, probably 6th or 7th grade. I was kind of just following the
Okay.
path of all my friends. My closest friend at the time was so good at makeup. She was always had like the best eyelashes, and I was like, okay, like I want to be just like you. So I got into makeup, I think then, but skincare definitely started after I started social media. I think it was
Oh,
more,
after.
yeah,
Okay.
it was like people started complimenting my freckles more, and that's I think honestly when I got pushed more into skincare and like
Mm,
wanted to embrace like the glowy skin and like the natural skin, and that's definitely where my passion for that came in.
That is
wow.
so
So it just
cool.
organically came like that. Yeah. That's the beauty of social. I think it's like for a lot of people, you start off focusing on one thing and then you can slowly evolve into something else because like you said, you listen to comments and feedback from your followers. And I'm sure you you would probably agree on like the content you were creating from what your audience was sharing was telling you that they wanted maybe then that helped, with the engagement. You were noticing that those videos were getting a lot of traffic, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's so
I think I
cool. That is
definitely
so
like
cool.
listen a lot to them.
Yeah. Right. Right. And what's inspired you to start sharing tutorials? Was it the comments
Yeah, I think
that
so.
you were getting?
A lot of the when I did more like my tutorial based videos, it was definitely from comments. I got a lot of girls like, "What color do you use on your eyebrows? Because I cannot find a single color that matches my hair," which I still have not found it. Unfortunately, I'm like using eyeshadow. I mix it. I'm like a scientist doing my eyebrows because I can never find a shade that actually matches my hair at all. But it was a lot of like people asking about my eyelashes and my eyebrows and stuff. And that's kind of what pushed me into doing more like whenever I did like tutorials or anything like that.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really cool.
I
I was
know.
wondering if TikTok has given you confidence. If it has, or if your
Mm.
social platforms have given you confidence because you're on there, I'm sure I don't know if you're one of those people who read the comments or don't read the comments, but you seem to be very in vibe with the people who follow you. So I was just wondering, like, has it given you a boost every day?
I read actually I think all of my comments and I like to go in and
You
reply
do.
because I feel like they're my friends. Like you know too much about me that we
Yeah,
have to chat.
Yeah.
that
But
is
yeah,
awesome.
definitely. I think it's definitely boosted my confidence a lot. Like I was never I wouldn't say I was ever like super insecure. It was more like, oh, like I don't love it, but it was never something like that really brought me down, but I think being on TikTok now, I've realized like how much like okay, like they think like they really like me and like they love stuff, my hair, my makeup, and I think it's helped me become more confident definitely.
Yeah, no, I can tell just like scrolling through too, and just your stories. And I think it's like a mix of just you being super relatable and personable,
Mhm.
and people can just really, yeah, they feel like you're a friend. I think that that's how all of them feel because that's how I feel as I'm scrolling through your page. I'm like, oh, she's so cool. And like, I don't know, there's just something about you that like draws people in.
I really wanted to like be able to, because I know a lot of stuff is almost choreographed when filming and stuff like that. And you kind of know what you're talking about going into it. And I really wanted to just talk about everything and anything that could sort of even get me in trouble at school. My friends are a little mad that I brought it up, but like I wanted to be so authentic for people and be able to be someone that like, oh, like that's happened to her too. Oh, like, okay, it's not weird that my friend said this to me or like you know what I mean, like be a little like relatable and have something that's actually like
Mhm.
you can see that it's not just you going through stuff.
Yeah, yeah, like the one video you have, I think it's the one that it's you have pinned to your TikTok page and you're applying all your makeup and you're talking about dating. And it's like it's so relatable. I mean, haven't dated in a long time. Adrian and I are both married, but I was like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, that makes sense." I mean, like you were giving like there's the first stage and then the second stage and then the third stage, where they don't even like they're just on their phone and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Like and then I was looking at the comments and just as, we keep saying it's relatable. People were sharing as, you read your comments like, "Oh my gosh, yes."
I know, I didn't expect it to I thought it was like I was like, "Yeah, like, I feel like it's a little niche, like, I don't know if everyone's gonna know what I was talking about." And then I read the comments and I was like, "Oh my god, like, this is everybody."
So, were you
Yeah.
surprised by the growth of your page? Like when you first started it, were you really surprised by it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I started lip syncing, actually. I had these really big false eyelashes that I used to do. I still stand by it. My followers didn't like them, but I stand by them still. They were an era. And that's kind of what
Yeah.
started my TikTok journey doing lip syncing videos. I didn't start talking till a lot later on. And that's where I saw a lot of my growth. Like in November, I think of last year was when I had my first really big talking video. And it just kind of kept growing from there. And I still don't even know what happened. Like it shocks me every day.
That is so cool. I know even on your Instagram, I'm like, I just love the support that you also get across different platforms. You know, it's not just TikTok. I feel like Instagram too,
Mhm.
you have a very loyal following.
And that one really, I don't believe it. I was like, did I buy them? Like, am I sure? I was like, because where did they come from? Like, it was so overnight on Instagram. And yeah, very shocking. I had no idea.
That is so great. That is so great. And I wanted to ask too, and this is probably for the end of the conversation, but just to keep in, where do you see this going? Like as you know, you have so many amazing years ahead of you, but do you have exciting plans in the future for your pages and for really this brand that you've created?
I definitely want to continue doing TikToks. It's something I really enjoy and it's something I like to do. And going into university, if I choose to, I still haven't decided yet. I have no plans for my future at this specific moment. I don't know if
Good,
I'm gonna
good.
go to
Don't.
university or if I'm gonna like take a gap year and maybe go back. But as of right now, I think I'm definitely going to stick to filming a lot of TikToks. I am going to expand to YouTube soon and do kind of longer form
Great.
videos. And definitely if I go to
Awesome.
university, I want to be able to like document everything in real time. And I definitely want to do some more of like the real time content on TikTok as well and be able to show people like, this is actually like how I live my life. This is what it's actually like to go to university. Like, this is play by play what I'm doing throughout the day. I definitely want to get people even more involved in my life. So, yeah.
Oh, that's so great. I
I
can't wait.
know.
I can't wait to watch. So, okay. So you shared a video that you wanted to cut your hair into a bob,
Mm.
but but you're unsure if you want to commit. So, would you go
Yeah.
short or in one video you also mentioned your struggle to get extensions for redheads. Um and we hear this all the time from our audience too about this. So, is there another reason you're unsure to go short, or do you think you will?
I
Oh,
don't know. I always go short. I cut it short and I'm like, oh my God, it looks so good. And then 2 days later, I look at a photo of me and I was like, why did I do it? It was so much
I
better
know.
long. But I have
I know.
prom coming up, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna keep it long for prom because that's what they told me to do. They were like, don't cut it yet. Wait till after prom. So I feel like I'm gonna leave it long for prom and then cut it after. But I don't know. It's definitely though the extensions. They're impossible to find the same color as as your
Yeah.
hair, I feel like,
I
especially
know.
with red hair. Like I've never found a single set of extensions that match my hair that like if I didn't like it, I was kind of stuck with it. So it was definitely something I was
Mhm.
like, maybe not before prom. Like I'll hold off.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
shout out
I
to
know
like
it.
my best friend in high school who we're still very
Oh my
close, but
gosh.
she was amazing. Is talented in so many areas, but she's also a colorist. And so she in high school would get dye and try to make it like my hair color and dye extensions. And I'm like, you are a true best friend. Like she would color match my hair perfectly. And I had them for
Yeah.
years until like the color faded and
The
like,
clip-on
yeah, and they were just
ones.
gross. They were
Mhm.
gross, but I think I wore them for like the clip-in ones. And she even like sewed them in with like a clip and everything. And I was like, you don't understand. Her name's Kira. I'm like, people would pay for these
I would
custom,
pay.
right? Right? It's like, it's insane. So okay, so talking about skin again, what are your favorite skincare brands for your redhead skin? Because do you have sensitive skin? Like, are you in that group of sensitivity? Because I am. Stephanie's not.
Mhm.
I used to when I was younger, I feel like my skin was so sensitive, and then all of a sudden, like nothing affects my skin
Oh.
ever. So
Lucky.
I'm not sure. A
Yeah.
lot when I was younger. Oh, I'm gonna botch the name because I don't know how to say it anymore. It's French. La
La
Roche
Roche-Posay.
something. Yeah. Yep.
Posay,
We
yeah.
use
That was
them.
We
We
all
love
use
like
that
them.
when
We
I was
love
brand.
them.
younger. It's so good. Like I don't
Mm.
know what's in it, but
Mhm.
it's incredible. It's like gold. That was
Did
definitely
you
what
say the
I
cleanser?
I didn't actually I was never a cleanser person. It was the moisturizer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good one.
Oh, yeah, their moisturizer's good.
My mother always said you can only wash your face with water. You're only allowed to wash your face with water because her skin's very sensitive.
Really?
So
So you
I
Oh.
still do
haven't
that
really,
morning and night,
yeah,
just water?
yeah. I don't think I maybe used a cleanser like once, and I didn't understand it. I came out and I was like, why am I so dry? And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to the water.
Wow. So what about makeup
Wow.
removal?
Oh yeah, I have like the thickest, like darkest waterproof mascara on the face of the earth. So I definitely need the waterproof makeup remover. I use these little wipes by Marcel. And they're
Mm.
so good. They remove it all. But yeah, that's the one I do use that, but I don't like cleanse after. I just use water, which is probably really bad. There's probably
I
some
don't think
like
so.
a little bit of
No, I
makeup
mean, if you
remover
don't
left.
have clogged pores or
I think
anything, it must be working for your skin.
yeah, it hasn't caught up with me yet, so I feel like I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
No,
that's really
it looks
awesome.
really
And
nice.
okay, so your long lashes are standout
Mm-hmm.
in your
Mm-hmm.
videos. Love them. I know you said that you loved extensions and still wear them, but could you share any tips of your favorite products to achieve lash length? Like, I think that's something where I'm trying to think about my
Mm-hmm.
younger self. I always had like little tree stumps. As I got older, I learned to use a curling iron, I mean, a curling wand on an eyelash curler on my lashes. But what do you recommend for our listeners that are like, "Oh my gosh, I need volume on my lashes?"
I use the telescopic mascara, the waterproof one. It's
Okay.
terrible. It
Oh,
won't come off.
nice.
It will be on your face forever, but it's it's very good. It like I feel like that's what mainly gives me the length of my eyelashes. I don't know how they do it. I've never found a mascara that will give you the same length. And then my eyelash curler is a little
Mm,
dirty, but the Shiseido eyelash
so
curler,
is mine.
I got it
Oh, yeah.
recently. It's insane. I don't know how it curls your eyelashes
You've
so
noticed a
well.
big difference?
Oh yeah, like it's the best eyelash curler I've ever tried. I don't know how they made it. I don't know what makes it different, but it's different from every other eyelash curler I've ever tried.
So
I know you wonder that.
I've seen on TikTok that some people use the eyelash curler after they do the mascara, or like they do all different things.
Mm.
So what is your routine with the lashes? You curl them, apply, or what do you do?
I curl first and apply my mascara after. Like there's the odd occasion, like once a week, where I like
Yeah.
accidentally sleep in my mascara, and then I'll curl it after because it's already on my face. But normally I will curl first and then do the mascara after. And I don't really curl after if I'm using like waterproof mascara. I have another one. It's by Hourglass. I just tried it. It's
Oh
very
yeah.
good. It's like their instant extension mascara. I really like this one, but I do have to curl after because my eyelashes will fall
Yeah.
flat if there's no waterproof mascara on them.
Redheads, have you heard?
We aired on ABC's Shark Tank, episode 14, season 15. We are busy developing products and continuing to grow this incredible redhead lifestyle brand.
Check out our mascara and eyebrow products in red hot shades, hair care, merch, lifestyle items, and so much more. Redheads, we can now rejoice.
Finally, there are products for us.
Use code podcast to get 15% off your next purchase. Shop at shop.howtobearedhead.com. Oh, wow.
My eyelashes fall flat too,
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
I
It
totally
has to be a
relate.
redhead thing, I think.
Um,
I think it is.
maybe,
It's
yeah.
like they're thinner or something.
Yeah, maybe, and they kinda, like, fall flat. If you think about, like, thin hair, I don't have thin hair, but
Neither do I.
it it can't hold a curl, or they have like, I have a girlfriend who she can never curl her hair. Like, she puts a wand or a curling iron to it, and then within an hour, they're like, it's all straight because she has such fine hair. So, maybe to your point, it is we have fine eyelashes. I don't know, but
I don't know
I struggle
how
with that.
we'd have fine eye with like because I feel like red hair is often like very thick, I think.
I
Right?
agree.
Like I feel
Yeah.
like
There's
I've
something
never
about
met
it.
somebody with thin red hair, but the eyelashes, they didn't get that trait.
That is the
Mm.
truest thing. I think I've never thought about it, but it's so true. I have had like such a love for mascara, And I always tell people that redheads have like such a best friend relationship with their mascara. So are your natural lashes, are
Mm.
they white like Stephanie and I's? Or they are. Yeah.
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 Yeah, they're
So there's
like
something
a
about that
little
mascara.
yeah. I have none. Like you can't really see them. I think they've gotten darker because I think I've permanently slightly dyed them with the amount of mascara I put on, but they're still
Could
very
be.
light. Little ginger tint and
Yeah.
just white.
Yeah. Mine are definitely darker than Adrian's. Adrian's are
You
blonde.
can't see them. They're
Yeah, like
absolutely invisible.
translucent.
And when I was in high school, I just like became obsessed with mascara, but I would like have too much on, but I still have a fascination with black mascara. And in our beauty line, we have like chestnut and brown, and we have different shades, and auburn for like redheads who want different shades. But Stephanie and I just love a black mascara. There's just something I love
Yeah.
about black. And I feel like you're
Just
in the
makes
same boat.
yeah. I definitely have tried the brown mascara and I was in for my followers were like, you need to try it. Like your life will be changed when you try the brown mascara. I was like, okay, okay, I'll try it. I'll try it.
Yeah.
And for like a good week, I was like, okay, maybe they were right. And then I just put on black mascara again. It just wasn't the same.
I
I know you
know.
got to do what you're comfortable with too.
It's so true.
What is your favorite product right now in your getting ready with me routine?
I have this
Is it
Fenty stick.
mascara?
Actually, it's
Oh, I
contour, which
love
is so I was never a
I love
contour
that
girl.
stick.
And I have the amber one, the shade one, and it's cool toned. I feel like every contour I put on my face is orange. All of a sudden, I look like I'm straight out of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Mhm.
Factory. I look like an Oompa
Mhm.
Loompa, like I don't understand how they do it. But this one, it's cool toned, so it does leave me looking orange. So I feel like it's definitely the staple right now in the routine.
That
Yeah,
is so cool.
I love
I
that
I
stick.
was wondering, when you're doing your content, right? You have such a passion for beauty, but do you plan out your videos or you kind of wing it, like with what you love at that moment or what's happening at school or whatever's happening? Like I was wondering if you actually plan it out or you just want it to be organic.
Occasionally, if I think of something like when before I go to sleep, for some reason, all of a sudden I'm like, wow, I have so many thoughts. So I'll definitely like go through and I jot some stuff down, like a talking point. But I've never actually planned out a whole video. I've come up with like, oh, I should really talk about like my cutting my hair. I was thinking about it at night and I was like, I really want to cut my hair again. I was like, oh, I'll talk about that tomorrow. So I just write down cutting my hair and then the next day I'll bring it up and then I end up going on and on about stuff I had no idea I was going to talk about. But it's mainly just like a single talking point sometimes, and then I'll talk about it.
Mm.
But I've never planned out a full video, I don't think.
Maybe that works
Oh,
for
I love
you.
that
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because I think maybe some people, some brands overthink it, with their content, and maybe it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that piece of advice just to kind of
Yeah.
go with the flow. And
I mean,
if
sometimes it
a
doesn't work, and you're sitting there and you're talking, and I'm like, what did I just talk about for 5 minutes? I have no idea. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to restart, take the makeup off. I'm like, I got to give him a video today. So I'll redo it. Sometimes yeah, I'm like, what was I even here for the last 5 minutes of recording this? So I'll have to go back and refilm
Yeah,
it, but I don't like to plan anything out.
That's really I think that's great.
I
And
know.
do you feel like, do you feel like that has been your secret to being really relatable because it's just kind of like, oh, like it's
Mm,
just me
authentic.
and this is who I am and this is what I'm going through today. I'm sure it has to be, one of the secrets that it's just not so overplanned. It doesn't seem to me like it's your job. I want to say that. Like, you can see sometimes when people are really like they're pressing, but
Mm.
do you post daily, like, all the time? Are you consciously like, "I should post daily?" Yeah.
I do post daily. I make sure I want to get at least one video out a day.
Okay.
Sometimes it feels a little job-like when I'm really, not feeling it. Like this weekend, after my birthday weekend, I was feeling a little violently ill yesterday. I was like, I don't
Yeah.
know if I'm gonna make it. Like I could feel the cold brewing, but I still I went and I filmed
Oh.
it. But a lot of I think the secret has been for me, just filming. I talk very fast as well.
Mm.
My mind is always going very quickly, so it's made content really easy for me to film because I just talk so fast and I get all my ideas out in such a short period of time that I think it really hooks
Yeah.
people. But yeah,
Mhm.
I think a big part of it is that I don't plan it, that I'm able to just talk and just as they like to say, I just yap for like a minute and a half.
Yeah, well, it's cool because in the videos, you're getting advice and like whether you're telling stories or whatever it may be, relatable, and then you're doing like the videos that I loved on your page, and then you're getting ready. So it's almost like people are commenting with what you're saying, but also probably asking like, "What'd you just put on?" So it's nice that you're touching upon two different things, but you're bringing them together.
Yeah, like I like to be able to actually engage with them and tell them stories and about my life rather than just talking about the makeup. Because I've never been,
Yeah.
I'm not good at makeup very much. I'm actually the worst person to listen to about makeup. I don't know why they picked me because I had no knowledge on it at all before I did it. They're like, "What's your technique?" It's like, I don't know. Like I just put it on my face. Like I had no
Yeah.
idea what I was doing at all. But I definitely like I leaned more into like the storytelling, like talking about myself
Yeah.
more and like just being able to
Yeah.
share about my life and then as well as still, incorporating a little bit of the makeup side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you no, that's it. You're a good storyteller. Maybe if you I mean, don't if whatever you choose to do in life, maybe it will do something with
I was
storytelling.
thinking acting. Pam and I were talking about that before she came on. I was like, I feel like she could be an actress
Oh,
because there's something about her that you inherently like, and isn't that true for a lot of actresses that you meet? Like, or
yeah. Kenzie, there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
Thank you. My life is planned. I'm ready. Catch me on your movie
We just
screens in
found
a
your
year.
career.
Yeah, there's something about you. There's something about you, but you still have a long way to go. And I think what your
Yes.
plan is, like, just to kind of figure it out is the best thing to do because your mind's going to change like a million times, from
Mhm.
now until you're Stephanie and I's age. Like I feel like
Oh
we
my
still
god,
change our
yeah.
mind about stuff and yeah.
Yeah, our dad always said he didn't know what he wanted to do in life until he was like in his late 30s. And people, I think
Yeah.
they're 18, 19, 20, and they're like, "Oh my god, I got to do this," and then go to college, then graduate school. You know what I mean? And it's just can be so overwhelming because not everyone's so different. So,
Yeah.
it's just follow your gut.
Yeah. I feel like the planning out the life now, it's so difficult. Like everyone goes in with such like a
I know.
plan they feel like they
High
have to stick
standards.
to. And
Yeah.
I couldn't,
Mhm.
I feel like I couldn't do it anymore. Like I did have a plan. I was ready like 4 years ago. And now I'm like, I have no idea what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and it's
Well,
good to take your time. I'm
it's kind of
telling
a
you.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was watching the newest episode of Hacks,
Oh,
Adrian,
I love
where
that.
she or no,
Oh.
it was have you watched Hacks, Kenzie?
I don't think so.
Oh, you're
Okay.
gonna love it. You're gonna love
Is
it.
it
It's on
good?
Well,
Max. It's called Hacks. Oh,
y-
it's so good.
yeah, it's amazing. But they're on season 3 right now, but our what we're talking about reminds me of the 2 episodes before Adrian where Ava and her girlfriend break up and
Yeah.
she's like, "I'm devastated." And Jean Smart is I'm forgetting her character's name.
Vivian.
Vivian, yeah. She says, I'm envious of how much you have in your life. Ava's like 27. And she's basically telling her, like, everyone thinks, okay, go to school, get a companion, a spouse, whatever, a partner. And then maybe that doesn't work out for everyone. So Vivian was just saying, your youth is something that I wish I had. Adrian, do you
Yeah,
remember that
yeah, 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 yeah,
scene?
yeah, and she goes through, like, the
And
whole like, the difference when you, like, really because like, she's in her 20s and then, how it is to be, like, in your 70s and just the difference with, like, seizing the day, so, yeah, no, it's such a
yeah,
good show because it talks about, like, Kenzie, like, your generation with, like, a woman who's in her 70s, and it's just the 2 of them combined.
yes, it's both of them are
And
so
they're so different
different,
from
and
completely different generations, and it's just hilarious to watch both of them, and they're both stand-up comedians, so their one-liners to each
yeah,
other are just, like, priceless, and I think it's such a bridge
yeah,
between generations too because,
yes.
I don't know about you, Kenzie, but, like, have you tried to describe what you do to, like, your grandparents? Because like, our grandparents or, like, our older relatives, like, they just don't get
Oh
it,
my
so,
god.
They have no
Our
idea.
they
grandfather
have no
had
idea.
no idea what we did a few years ago, like, clueless. He would call us, "I don't know what you are doing. Do you go into an office?" We're like, "No, papa."
No. Yeah, I have one of my grandmothers, she's like on it. She's technologically savvy all of a sudden. She
Wow.
comments on my TikTok videos. She's
She
engaged.
doesn't.
She knows how to
Uh,
DM. I was like, wow.
That is amazing. But was
Yeah.
she always tech savvy or
No,
did you have to teach her?
I
Oh, she
don't she
wasn't.
just figured it out. Like half the time she's trying to like join our Facebook calls and she's like, I can't hear myself. But
Oh
all
my
of a
god. I
sudden
know
she
it's like
it's
when you
just yeah,
talk to your parents on FaceTime and you only get
like
like forehead up or
the
chin,
corner of
the
their
chin.
eye.
Yeah, we finally our mom finally understood how to do FaceTime, but for the longest time it's like, "Mom, I can only see the top or the bottom of your head," right, Adrian?
Yeah.
Do you remember those?
Yeah.
And then now we've taught her how to screenshot, how to oh my god, we've taught her how to do voice text, which I don't know if that was a good or bad thing
It's
because
not good.
now she leaves 5, 10, 15-minute voice texts
I can't
and
listen to them.
she
I can't. I tell her all the time, stop sending them to me.
I know it's like she thinks of it as like an ongoing voicemail.
It's very
So
stressful, to be honest.
You just, oh.
I know, and she'll send multiple ones, and then I write back. I do a voice text, but it's like 30 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I'll call you later. That sounds good. And then she's going on and on and on.
Telling you about her whole week while she's at it. I'm a
Yeah.
terrible
Yeah,
texter. I'm
You
so bad.
are.
I have to call. Like I need to talk on the phone or you're not
I
getting
love
an answer from
that. I love that because I think. Do you feel like a lot of your friends are like that?
it comes a lot from my oldest brother. He cannot answer a text message for the life of him.
Okay,
Okay.
When he was moving out of his house, I was
I
like,
have a
"Oh,
girlfriend like that.
yeah." I was like, "When are you moving out?" I got an answer 3 weeks later. He's like, "Oh, we're moving out tomorrow." I was like, "Okay." So I gotta get everything to your house tomorrow. Thank you for the heads up. So now I call, always call, and that's the only way I
That's
So
great.
with girl
Keep
with
keep that up.
friends, with friends, are you
they hate the phone
just
call,
calling
but
them to hang out?
I call them all the time. I have one friend I call her like 6 times a day. Every time I have a thought, I just call her instead of texting her. She hates it because she's not a caller.
Oh my
But I'm trying to convert
yeah.
her into taking phone calls more.
Well, I feel like it's just become so less common to pick up the phone. It's just let's just text or voice text, and then you realize I don't know, I like talking on the phone, so it's nice to hear that you do too, Kenzie.
Yeah, it's I love it. And FaceTime, like I could just FaceTime somebody and just have it set up and I could just be doing it my thing. I just love having
Yeah.
somebody in the that's probably why I like TikTok because I like to talk to I
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah, Kenzie, I'm telling you, you're an old soul. I don't know if anyone's told you that before, but
Yeah. I know, have you heard that?
I've actually never heard that,
you
but I'll
are.
take
You
it.
are.
Yeah.
It's a compliment. It's like I've
Yeah.
never really talked with someone your age that I feel like you're my age. I feel like you're just so like I could just chill with you. Like you're just so great. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm the youngest of 2 older brothers, so I
That
feel
might be
like I took my
why.
fair yeah, took my fair
Yeah.
share of eating as a child that I'm now they're like, "You're so mature, Mackenzie. We can hang out with you forever." I'm like, "Thanks, guys."
You really
They like to
Yeah,
are.
take
because
credit.
older.
You really are. So I was
Yeah.
wondering too, there's when in the beauty industry, as you know, there's like
Mm.
so many different inventions, new things coming out. And you just said, it's really like the conversation that you love most, not always about like the actual products. So how do you keep up with like all the latest trends? Like, do you try to, or you just like they come to you? Like, what happens with like the fast movement of the beauty industry?
I'm so bad at keeping up with them. I think a lot of it comes from my friends and they'll try something, they're like, "Oh, you need this, like you need to try it." And then I'll
Mm.
try it and I'm like, "Oh, wait, like this is like I'm influenced and then I influence." Like it's like a
Big
whole
time.
Yeah,
process.
I love that. It's like a domino
Yeah,
effect.
like I don't think I've a lot of the beauty trends, I find it so difficult to keep up on, and I feel like a lot of them I don't participate in either because it's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of concealer, foundation hacks, like finding like the glowy skin with foundation. I feel like that's a big one always, like doing the skin tints and
Mhm.
stuff. I like and I don't really participate in anything like that, but the skincare trends I try to keep up. I'm terrible though. I'm not very good at keeping up with the beauty industry.
Ugh, I know it's so overwhelming. I think if you think about like,
It's
oh my God,
insane.
the clothing trends and the beauty trends and the hair trends, it's like, oh my gosh. I think the one thing though I feel less stressed about, like on a personal, is the hair trends because I'm like, okay, I'm thankful that I don't need to figure out a new color that's trending this season. I love my hair. I'm, Kenzie and
Yeah.
Adrian. So it's nice to, it's like the one thing that doesn't stress me out. But when I scroll TikTok sometimes on my personal and I see all these, I'm like, "Oh my god, my mind," with, like, the makeup, and the skincare. But we're very similar, Kenzie, in the fact that we love skincare more, not more, we love makeup, but skincare is something that I love to see influencers' videos. And
Yeah.
makeup, it's mascara and eyebrows and lips. Those are, like, my 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, foundation, it's just I don't wanna cover up my freckles.
Yeah, like I never keep up with the beauty, I don't think. I'm so bad. And if I catch on, it's like months later. They're like, "Girl, it was in, it's out. You're a little late." I'm like, "Oh, I can't use
D
it anymore now. I feel left out. I missed the bus."
Are any of your other friends on TikTok too and have pages, or is it just you and your friend group?
It's just me. None of my other friends post on social media. Most of them like won't even like I have friends who won't even post on Instagram. They're like, I can't, like I don't want to. It took a while. I have one of my
Wow.
friends who's in a lot of my videos. Her name's Tegan, and
Mm.
she always pulls through for me. She always commits. She's been like my biggest cheerleader. She's always like, "You gotta post. Like this would be such a cute video idea." Like she's invested. She's so good. Like I always like I'm like, "You should have done it, not me. Like you're so much better at it than me." But she doesn't post like she doesn't post on TikTok either, but I feel like she posts because she's in all of my videos. They all know her name too. All my followers like, "Oh, Tegan's here." So it's like she's got her own
Oh.
page.
That's so great. Yeah, it's like she's got a little fan base without even having a social following
Yeah.
of her own. That's awesome.
That is so great. Okay, so you don't know if you're going to university, but you're just gonna like live your life, which is awesome.
Mhm.
But we just can't wait to continue to follow you, Kenzie. I swear you have a very, very bright future, and we're so happy for you and supportive of you. So if you ever need anything, just please reach out. But you're just gonna soar. We know you are.
Yeah, I can't wait to continue watching all your
I
amazing
love
videos.
them.